Welcome to The Explainer. For Bangladesh, entrepreneurship isn't just a buzzword or a nice-to-have. It's a full-blown national necessity. Today, we're going to break down exactly why the country's entire future might just depend on a new generation of job creators.
So, our guide for all of this is the incredible work of MD Joinal Abdin. He's a top business consultant right there in Bangladesh, so his insights give us this fantastic framework, a real view from someone who is on the ground, living and breathing this every day.
All right, so to really get why this is all so urgent, we have to look at the massive economic challenge Bangladesh is staring down right now. And believe me, the stakes could not be higher.
To give you an idea of the sheer scale of this, get this, 85%. According to the World Bank, a staggering 85% of all jobs in Bangladesh are in the informal sector. So think about what that means. We're talking about rickshaw pullers, street vendors, day laborers, jobs that don't have stability or benefits, and they're often stuck in a cycle of low productivity.
And all of this is happening at a really critical time. There is a huge wave of young people pouring into the workforce. By 2028, almost half of the working-age population will be young. All of them are going to need quality, formal jobs that, right now, simply don't exist in large enough numbers. The pressure is just immense.
And this quote from M. Joinal Abdin, it just cuts right to the heart of it. The old way of thinking, just going out and finding a job, well, that's not going to work anymore. It's not enough. The country needs this fundamental shift from a nation of job seekers to a nation of job creators. And that right there is where the entrepreneur comes in.
But, to tackle a challenge this big, we really have to rethink what an entrepreneur actually is. It is so much more than just starting a company. It's a much, much deeper idea.
So let's break that down. What does it actually mean to be an entrepreneur, especially in a situation like this one?
At its absolute core, entrepreneurship is about being a problem solver. It's that ability to see a need that isn't being met, or a gap in the market, or some kind of inefficiency, and then building a real, sustainable solution to fix it. The focus is always on creating value, not just on profit.
Now, this is a key distinction. There are really two types. You've got necessity entrepreneurship. That's when you start a small business because, you don't have any other job options. But the future, that really depends on opportunity entrepreneurship. That's about proactively, strategically building a business to innovate, to scale up, and to capture a real market opportunity. That's the engine for real growth.
Okay, so that distinction is crucial. But how does someone actually become an opportunity entrepreneur? Let's walk through a practical, step-by-step path that makes it a little less intimidating.
It doesn't start with a huge investment or some grand plan. It starts with just observing. First, you find a real problem that people are facing. Then, you design a simple business model to try and solve it. You don't need some perfect, polished product. Just launch a basic version, a test, to see if people will actually use it. And then, here's the most important part. You learn from that test, and you adapt. It's a continuous cycle, not a one-and-done launch.
So if that's the path, what do you need in your toolkit to actually walk it successfully? Look, passion is a great start, but it's the skills that are going to sustain you on the journey.
It really boils down to three core pillars. First is your vision and strategy. That's seeing opportunities that other people miss and thinking about the long game. Second, you have people and leadership. You've got to be able to communicate your vision, build a team, create a network. And third is execution and resilience. This is the nitty-gritty, managing money, solving problems as they pop up, and just having the grit to keep going when, inevitably, things get tough.
But here is the most important takeaway, maybe of this whole explainer. Nobody is born with all of these skills. Not one person. Every single one of them, from strategic thinking to financial literacy, can be learned. They're built through practice, through discipline, and through a real commitment to never, ever stop learning. And that makes entrepreneurship accessible to anyone who's willing to put in the work.
Okay, so now let's zoom all the way back out. Let's connect this individual journey of building skills back to that massive national impact we talked about right at the very beginning. Because a single successful business is never, ever just one business. It creates this powerful ripple effect. It hires people from the local community. It buys supplies from local vendors, which stimulates other businesses. It introduces new ideas and solutions that push the whole economy forward, making it more diverse and more resilient.
And this final thought from MD Joinal Abdin just captures it perfectly. True entrepreneurship is so much bigger than just a personal income.
It's an active contribution. It's about building something that lifts other people up and actively helps shape your country's economic destiny.
So we'll leave you with this question. Now that you've seen the need, the path, and the incredible potential impact, remember that the first step on any entrepreneurial journey is always the same thing: identifying a problem that actually matters. So, what problem are you ready to solve?